welcome back to Finally Freedom Lifestyle. Today I really wanted to talk about organizing so that you can stay on budget. There's so many tips and tricks to it, but what I found out with myself in particular is I needed to stay on budget with shopping for groceries. Typically, in the past, what I would do is I would get off of work and I would never have a plan of what was for dinner. Like that was the furthest thing from my mind was cooking because I just didn't want to. Had to kind of reset my mindset a little bit, right? I had to trick myself into wanting to cook at home, and I was having a hard time doing it. So what I would do is I would come home from work, I would get the kids, we would all run to the grocery store, and while we were in there, I would look for what was on sale because in my head that was budgeting. That was me saving money because I was cooking for my family. Big tip number one for me, that was my big, I'm saving money. Number two, I was purchasing items on sale. But I was also purchasing more than I need. Thinking in my head, well, this is on sale. I could buy extra of it and I'll just use it again this time or, whatever date in a week or so. I can freeze it. I'll reuse it. I'll save it for later. It's not exactly the best way to budget. I don't even know if it technically falls into budgeting at all. And so my sister, picture it, Tina, brought her up before, check her out. She was a person that's extremely organized. And she would make a menu for the week. She would have her menu and then she would have her list. I wasn't so organized. And so it took a lot of time and a lot of getting used to do this. And what I had to do is take a page out of my workbook. At work, I had to be extremely organized. And so I think what was happening is I was very organized at work and just letting it lax at my home. I was tired. I had all these excuses, and really that's what they are. They're just excuses. There's no reason why you can't take the knowledge that you gain from somewhere else and apply it to your regular life. If you were smart, you would be doing this, right? So at work, I always had a planner. Some people have beautiful planners, elaborate planners. There's so many cool ones out there. Because I'm budgeting, I go to Target or Walmart. I think I prefer Target. I believe this is a Target planner. I want to say that I spent about $15 on it. And what it does is it helps me, especially with this part of my home life. It's the food planning part. I don't put everything in my planner that I do. I put in big things that I need to remember, parent-teacher conferences or service for my car if I have it, because I know that I'll be checking this at least once a week and that will remind me. But for the most part, I use my phone. My phone, I also use for this meal portion plan of it. So I want to show you what I do. It's really very easy, but it takes a little bit of time. But in the long run, you are saving time. The first thing I do is I write down 30, 31 recipes, whatever it is for that month, and I just write them on a piece of paper. I always have my easy go-to ones for the week, and then I have some other ones that I want to try, and I have some more elaborate ones for either a special occasion, a holiday, someone's birthday, or just because I really want to have that food. And then I try to break it up evenly for each week, like several easy ones each week, a couple of more elaborates, depending on the holiday or the birthday that month is falling, all that kind of stuff. And I try to plan it out so that I'm not overloading myself every single day with this task of making dinner. I then go to my phone. And so it's not the easiest thing for me. Like I've said before, I don't have a lot of really kick butt recipes, right? I have some that my family really like, and I have some that I really like because they're easier. And then it's always this hard thing, like what are we going to have for dinner? And I get so frustrated because nobody in my family can think of anything except for my kids, and my kids will always say spaghetti. My husband and I are both so over spaghetti and pizza that I'll throw it in there once a month, and then I even try to skip it, maybe once every 2 months, just to keep the kids happy, get them off my back, you know what I mean? But in reality, it's very hard for me. So I have my sheet of paper. I'm writing down my 30 recipes. I'm not trying to break it up by week at this point. What I'm really trying to do is just come up with 30 recipes that are diverse enough so we don't feel like we're eating the same darn thing every single week. I get onto my phone and I go to All Recipes. I've used them for many, many years, and it's the site that I like to use. I check out other stuff too because you can kind of like paint yourself into a corner on these websites, right? Where you keep seeing the same thing. But I go to All Recipe and I write the rest of them down. So I get my 30, 31 recipes, whatever I need for that month. And then I go to my phone and I start looking up or saving recipes. I don't save the ones that I already know. Like, I'm not going to save the recipe for spaghetti or for zucchini boats or Italian wedding soup. These are ones that I typically make, and I don't need to save that recipe. I'm not going to go to my phone to reference it or the iPad to reference it later. So I'm looking for the recipes to the ones that I don't know, the meals that I don't really know how to do, and I'm just saving them to my home screen. Once I get all the recipes saved to my home screen that I am not familiar with, I then go to my planner. And this is where I start to think a little bit more. I'm trying to break it up so I have some easy ones, some medium ones, and maybe one that's a little bit challenging, if I even have that in there. If. And I break it up for week. I then go to my phone, and if I have any that are medium or challenging or any recipes that I'm not familiar with, I go and I stick it in a folder. And I say week 1. I don't do it for the rest of the weeks. I just do it for week 1. So week 1 on mine, I have zucchini boats on Tuesday, today. Grilled tilapia Wednesday, Italian wedding soup Thursday, Instapot chicken burritos on Friday, and chicken breast and caper cream sauce Saturday, schnitzel on Sunday. The ones that I don't know, the broiled tilapia, the Instapot chicken burrito, and the chicken breast and a caper and cream sauce, I'm going to go find those recipes. I'm going to stick them in a folder. I'll show you how to do this on my phone or on your phone if you have the same phone as me, I guess, but I don't think they're all that different. And then I'm going to label that folder week 1. The other recipes I save, I'm just going to leave them on my home screen because I don't need them right away. But what's going to happen is during this week while I'm cooking, I'm going to go and I'm going to reference my recipes. And I'm going to have on my iPad or on my phone, I'm going to have to go and try to scan through which recipe is it. No, I'm just going to go to week 1. I know the needed for this week are going to be right here. So I'm not going to search on my phone or my iPad because I know that I've saved the recipes that I need for this week right here. I'm going to tap on that. There's 3 recipes. It's a lot easier than going through the 30 recipes on your homepage, right? So that is what I do to stay organized with the recipes. The second part of that is the purchasing, right? You don't want to overspend. You don't want to keep buying all this extra stuff. I'll give you an example. For me, don't ask me why, but it was sour cream and diced tomatoes. You would go into my pantry, you would go into my pantry and you would find 20 cans of diced tomatoes. I don't use them that much. I mean, I use them, but I don't know why. It's like every single time I went to the store, either they were on sale or I thought I need those and I would buy them. And it was just kind of a waste, like an extra little thing. And like we all say, every penny counts. I used to work for a company that would have us run our own departments, especially in fresh food. And since this is kind of the same situation here, right? We always said every single penny counts. It's a penny's business. Like you calculated down to the pepperoni that was dropped on the floor or the chicken that didn't make weight. You calculated it down to the penny because in a fresh food scenario, it literally every single penny counts if you want to make it work and if you don't want to waste. Waste was the second biggest problem I used to have, and this system helped me reduce waste and reduce the amount I was spending every single week. Before, I could easily spend $200 a week, and I would hear other people's budgets, and I would fall over like, how in the heck can those people spend so little? Like, I could not fathom it. And it was because I was spending it on extra stuff that I didn't even need. And the extra stuff that I didn't even need, I would buy again and again and again. It would like rewire my brain. I need to have that diced tomato and I need to have that sour cream. And sour cream's a terrible one because it actually goes bad. The diced tomatoes may be like for the apocalypse. I'll have tomatoes for my neighbors and myself. That's how many I was buying. So this is the second step to the process. Not only do I have my planner and I have my recipes saved to my phone, but I have a list app on my phone. The app that I use is Wunderlist. And let me see if I can just get the front of it so you can see. Ooh, that one. Wunderlist. That's the app I use. It's a nice, easy app to use. It's a no-brainer. You go in there, you start your list. Mine is groceries. I go into groceries. Let's see if I can figure this out on here. Boop. And I start my list. These are the two things that I couldn't pick up the store that I was at for my grocery shopping this week. So I know I need to make one more trip, and these are the only two things I'm going to get on that trip because I really want to stay within my budget. But what I do is I go through each recipe that I save to my phone, and I look at it, and it's like, okay, zucchini boats. I know I need 2 zucchinis, and I need ground beef, and I need no diced tomatoes because I already know that I have them in my pantry. I need some garlic salt, whatever it is. What I don't need, the stuff that I have in my pantry already, obviously I don't add to the list, but this makes it so much easier, twofold. I have a purpose. I'm saving time going through the grocery store, saving money by not purchasing anything extra, and when my kids are there, I'm also saving time because I can look at the next thing on there. Like I teach my kids a lot of stuff while we're shopping. I'm like, this is what you look for. Because I use them. They're very good at picking out, bananas, some of the produce. Like I trust their judgment. They know how to pick out good apples. They know how to check the apples to make sure that they're not mushy and mealy, They can grab the cheese that I need and we will go separate directions. We'll get out of that store in a half an hour easily. So it's super nice. And as we're grabbing stuff, as stuff is going into the cart, I'm checking it off the list. All right, got it. And this way, I'm not going through every single aisle because that's how I used to shop. I used to hit the perimeter of the store, and then I would hit all the aisles and just buy the stuff that either was on sale or looked good. And if I was hungry, man, we all know how dangerous that can be. So now I don't hit every aisle, and that's a good thing for me. I don't need to hit every aisle. I don't need to see all the new stuff that came out. And I don't need to see everything that's on sale. I just need to see what is actually on my menu. And that, my friends, will save you. I used to do it where I thought I was doing a great job because I was buying everything on sale. I still do that to a small amount because I pick 30 recipes. I know the recipes that are coming up for the next 3 weeks. So if I find a smoking deal on ground beef or on pork cutlets, whatever it is, I will bag them and I will freeze them and I'll pull them out 3 or 4 days in advance to defrost them if they're on sale. If not, then I'm just buying what's on my menu for that week. Much better way to do it. All right, well, thanks for watching. Please keep tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, leave some comments. Let me know what you guys are interested in. And also don't forget to check out my sister's channel, Picture It Tina. Link is in the description box below. Thanks. Bye.